The moment a baby is born, they already know their mother's voice. Not because they recognize her face, not because of instinct in the simple sense, but because they have been listening to her for months. And the evidence for this is extraordinary. One of the most emotionally resonant findings in prenatal research is also one of the most scientifically well-supported. Babies learn the sound of their mother's voice before birth, and they are born with a preference for it. This isn't folklore, this isn't sentimentality. This is something researchers have demonstrated through carefully designed experiments, and the implications are profound for how we think about fetal learning, about the bond between mother and child, and about the origins of human communication. Let's explore what the research actually shows. The womb is not quiet. First, let's establish an important fact. The womb is a surprisingly rich acoustic environment. While external sounds are muffled and filtered by the abdominal wall, amniotic fluid, and tissue, they are not eliminated. Researchers estimate that external sounds reach the fetus at a somewhat reduced volume, but they do reach. Crucially, one sound is transmitted very clearly: the mother's voice. Unlike external voices, the mother's voice resonates through her own body, through her bones, tissues, and chest cavity, creating a rich, direct pathway to the fetus. From the third trimester onward, when the auditory system is sufficiently developed, the baby is immersed in the sound of their mother's voice for hours every day. This means that by the time of birth, a baby has been hearing their mother's voice for approximately 3 months. How researchers tested this? How do you demonstrate that a newborn recognizes a specific voice? You design clever experiments, and that's exactly what researchers did. In a landmark series of studies, newborns were given special pacifiers that could detect sucking patterns. Babies would suck faster or change their sucking rhythm in response to stimuli they preferred. Researchers found that newborns would consistently modify their sucking behavior to hear recordings of their own mother's voice rather than the voice of a stranger. This demonstrated not just that babies could distinguish voices, but that they actively preferred their mothers. The preference was already present at birth, meaning it formed during pregnancy. Other studies found that babies responded differently to their mother's voice versus their father's, and differently to their native language versus a foreign language, showing that prenatal learning extends beyond just voice recognition to broader acoustic patterns. Learning begins before birth. The voice recognition research is part of a broader, fascinating scientific picture. Fetuses can learn. Studies have explored whether babies recognize specific stories or music heard repeatedly before birth. In one well-known study, mothers read a particular children's story aloud during the final weeks of pregnancy. After birth, their babies showed measurable preferences for that specific story over unfamiliar ones. This suggests that the fetal brain is not simply developing in a passive vacuum. It is processing, registering, and in some sense, remembering auditory experiences before birth. The neural pathways of language, sound, and recognition begin forming in utero. Researchers are exploring what this means for early language development, for the bond between mother and child, and for how early educational exposure might influence the developing brain. What this means for the mother-baby bond. This research carries meaningful implications for the relationship between a mother and her newborn. When a baby is born and placed on the mother's chest and hears her voice, they are not hearing a stranger. They are hearing the most familiar sound in their entire existence. They have heard that voice more than anything else in their short lives. Some researchers believe this prenatal auditory experience contributes to the rapid bonding that occurs after birth and to the calming effect that the mother's voice has on a newborn. Your voice has been a constant presence, a source of continuity in a world of constant newness and change. For fathers and partners, research suggests that voices heard regularly and in close proximity during pregnancy can also become familiar to the baby. Talking to a baby during pregnancy isn't just touching, it may be genuinely formative. There is something deeply moving about this science. Every conversation you have during pregnancy, every song you sing, every story you tell reaches your baby. Not perfectly, not in full fidelity, but it reaches them. Your baby is listening. Long before you ever hear their voice, they already know yours. Share this with someone who's expecting. This is one of the most beautiful things science has shown us about pregnancy.